Joining me now is Lynn Dvorak, and she is the president of the Golden Rain Foundation. I know you guys had a meeting on Friday, and I kind of watched that meeting. I guess I've heard that people got along better than usual. It was a good meeting. Got a lot accomplished.
Yes, we have an excellent team this year, and I'm really looking forward to accomplishing a lot in the coming year. At this meeting, what we handled we're finalizing all of our user fees, and the garden center fees were approved, the equestrian center fees were approved this time, and the golf fees were brought up for the first time, and we have to wait 30 days, and we'll probably handle those and approve them at our next meeting in February. So we're really moving along. It's taken 3 years, almost 4, to get this done, but we're on track.
That's something that your group can do, is change the golf fees?
Oh yes,
and
absolutely.
So, what are they now?
Right now, it's $8 per 18 holes, and we are. The proposal is to move it to $10 for 18 holes, and then there are some changes in the golf cart rental fees, the guest fees, those types of things. Pretty much minor, but the real basis for all of this was we were trying to put together a formula that will allow us to adjust fees annually based on the operating budget, rather than pulling a number out of the air every year or every 8 years as it's been, and having no rhyme or reason to it. So once these fees are established this year, next year they will automatically change if needed based on the operating budget. And that's because although we have a fee assigned now, it's being translated into a percentage of the cost of the facility. And so the percentage is what actually goes into the formula.
Okay. Are there any other big decisions that you guys are making right now?
Well, another thing that we brought up at this meeting was establishing a golf cart fee, trail fee, for all golf carts in the community. It's something that has been brought to us on a number of occasions, and people ask why only the golfers pay it. And GRF decided not to institute that fee for non-golfers, because they use very little of the golf cart paths, and we really want to encourage golf cart usage throughout the community. So that was just tabled for the time being. And from there, actually, we didn't have a major agenda this year, this month. We did approve the new name for the Village Greens Cafe. It is now 19 Restaurant and Lounge.
You know, I saw that it was 19, and I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I couldn't figure out what the 19 meant. My first implication was that it's somehow attracting 19-year-old kids and teenagers or something. But once I understood it, it's the 19th hole in golf. That makes a lot more sense.
Yes, yes. And the new vendor is in operation now. I haven't had an opportunity to get over there, but I understand the people that have say it's just wonderful. So we're looking for big things from there, and GRF has hands off on this.
Okay. Well, I guess I saw that in the meeting that you guys were, even if you disagreed, even if you didn't like it, you were going to just stay out of it.
Yes.
And just wish them good luck, and hope everything goes well. Okay. Well, that's something that we'll look more into in the future then too. At 19, and we'll see how that looks. And the place that it's replacing, were they successful?
Well, yes and no. The community enjoyed them. The problem we had was GRF was trying to make the decisions on how to proceed and how to operate the business. That's the way that contract was set up, and trust me, we know nothing about restaurants. So So we had to restructure the whole operation, and now we have restaurant people making the decisions. So that's the big difference, and
Okay.
we wish them well.
All right. Well, that does sound good. I like the way that your decision was on this. It's based on what's going to work best for the community.
Right.
And that was good. Well, let's see. The other thing that I guess you said was the meeting on Thursday.
Yes, we had a community activities committee meeting on Thursday, and I chaired that as well. And the big issue that came up at that meeting was the garden centers and the plots and grandfathering in of plots that were multiple plots that were given to gardeners prior to 2009, and they right now the policy stands that gardener can't have more than 400 square feet of space, a manor per manor. So, but those that were grandfathered in from 2009 can have 800 or more, and we have a waiting list currently of 300 gardeners wanting plots, and that's probably, well, if you consider that we have currently about 400 gardeners using all of the space, that means we have to have almost a complete turnover to accommodate those 300 people. So CAC looked at it, and we are proposing to GRF, and it'll come before us in February, that we no longer grandfather in multiple plots over 400 square feet after December 31st of this year. And I expect to get some pushback on that, but the preliminary numbers that I have received is that by doing this, we will release about 150 plots, which means that would reduce our waiting list by half. So that's a significant change.
Okay. What kind of plants are planted in a 400 square foot lot?
Well, most of it is vegetables. We do have citrus and fruit trees. Those plots, obviously are just 1 or 2 or 3 trees, but the majority of the plots are vegetable plots. Some people grow flowers, and actually it's quite popular.
Interesting. And are those 400-foot plots, is it close to someone's house or where they live? They can walk to it, or?
No, we have a garden center on Moulton. It's called Garden Center 1.
Okay.
And you can access it from Moulton Parkway just before Santa Maria, the intersection of Santa Maria. And then we have Garden Center 2, which is over close to the maintenance yard. And that's actually a little bit larger than the other. Garden Center 1 on Moulton will be impacted by the Moulton widening this coming year, but the Garden Center 2 will remain as is, and hopefully once our specific plan is approved through the city, which we anticipate that the environmental impact report will be back to the city in March. Once that comes back, we'll start public hearings and get that specific plan through. We anticipate that we will be able to then put new garden centers on the 23 acres that's south of the Garden Center 2.
And you've got a waiting list of people that want to get on those too?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what kind of, so the people are just going, they ride their golf carts down there and they plant some nice
They do that. There's
vegetables and
parking
fruits
lots
and-
there. They drive
Wow.
there. Our mulch system that we have at on the 23 acres where we redo all of our green waste, we provide mulch for the gardeners, and they do a wonderful job of supplying South County Outreach during the growing season with fresh vegetables and fruit.
Well, another thing you wanted to talk about was the Recreation Master Plan.
Yes.
This is scheduled for January 17th. What's that all about?
Yes. Our amenities are aging, and we know that we have renovations planned, and we wanted some help with determining what the needs of the community going forward will be in terms of recreation. For instance, shuffleboard was really big when this community was originated in the 1960s, but it has fallen off, and we had 3 shuffleboard courts. Now we only have 1 used, and so we know that things have to be phased out that are no longer popular, and we would like to start incorporating new things. For instance, the fitness centers were something that came on board after the origination of this community, as well as the MAC Center and the PC Center. We've had to be on the cutting edge in those areas to go forward in the community, because that's what people coming in want. And likewise in pickleball, it has been in effect just a little over a year, and it is growing tremendously. So what we're looking at is we went out to consultants to come back to us with trends throughout the country in senior communities and other homeowners associations to tell us where we should be headed and give us advice on how to integrate these newer recreation activities into our community.
Well, if we have a viewer right now that's hearing this and says, you know, gosh, I'd like to join this pickleball, get into this game, is there a way that they can get into something like that?
Absolutely. The Pickleball Club has a weekly notice in the Globe, and
Okay.
I know that they give lessons, I believe, on Saturday mornings, but there are telephone numbers where they can contact the pickleball people, or just go to right now. We have courts in Gate 12 near the golf building,
Okay.
and we also use, although the gym is closed down for resurfacing, they've been using that as well. So once that reopens on the 14th, they'll be able to go there and take lessons. But they welcome any new people coming in.
Okay. That's something I'll report here too, as I see different events coming up and things like that. Also, you mentioned computers. So
Yes.
if someone does have a computer at home, or they want to learn about computers,
Yes,
that's
right
something
in
they
this
can
on this floor in this building, we have the MAC Center, and the Computer Learning Center, and the PC Center, and we have volunteers that give classes, give instruction. If you're having trouble with your computer and come over, they will give you help in getting it back on track, and it's a very popular facility.
Yeah, I see the people in those. It's really nice. Is there any other things that we haven't discussed that you wanted to talk about this morning?
No, I just want to remind people that the Recreation Master Plan will be televised, that presentation on the 17th at 10 a.m., and it will be retelevised, and I don't have that schedule yet. So please, if you can't make it to the boardroom that day for the presentation, or space is limited, of course, then watch it on TV. And we would like people's input. We will be reviewing this and integrating it into our plan for the future.
Okay. Let's see. It's the Recreation Master Plan, and that will be on January the 17th?
Yes.
And it will be broadcast right here on Channel 6?
Absolutely.
Okay. And anything else you wanted to add?
Not at this time. I
Okay.
think we covered it.
Well, our guest is Lynn Dvorak. She is the president of the Golden Rain Foundation.
Yes.
And I want to thank you for everything you had to tell us today. And for everyone out there that heard, I hope you can use some of that information.
Thank you.
Okay. Channel 6 News, we'll be back in just a few minutes. We've got a lot more scheduled for today, so don't go away.